You just downloaded the show that was nominated Best Entertainment Podcast of 2013, only to be beaten by The Walking Dead.
That's where Tony's at, Spy Shack. That's where Tony's at. Tony is a sneaking, Tony is a listening, wearing next to...
Hey everybody, this is Survivor Talk with D&D. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm David.
And we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. And tonight is our listener feedback show for Episode 7 of Survivor Cagayan, The Mad Treasure Hunt.
And this is a special Monday night edition.
That's right. We don't normally do this on Monday night.
No, our families are looking at us like, what are you doing?
Yeah, where are you going?
Who do you love?
Yeah.
Our listeners. Our friends.
Yes. In fact, tonight we'll even have some feedback from last episode.
That's
For
right.
those that didn't realize we weren't having a feedback show.
Yeah, because we decided not to do a feedback show after probably the biggest episode to
Yeah.
date.
Well, we could, we
We were even warned. Cass even warned us on our Facebook page.
Yes.
You need to have a feedback
It's
episode.
like, what? You're not what? Hello? You idiots.
I'm not telling you what I did, but you need to have a show.
Yes, that's pretty much. If you're watching live on YouTube, feel free to leave comments, and if we see them and they're good, we might say something. And if they're good, and we still might not say something, but you know the thing.
Yeah.
So, David, you got inspired this week.
Yes, I've had a very long weekend of a Easter production and other things, and I told you this morning, first thing, that you know what, I just don't have it. I'm not going to have time. I'm not going to put anything together.
Uh-huh.
And about 3 hours later, after a great amp or a purple amp, whatever they are, I said, you're not going to believe this, but I'm finished.
Yes. He
I've
wrote
written it.
Survivor by the Slice, and that will be up later this evening, I assume.
Yes.
All right. Well, good for you, David. Hey, I want to say a shout-out and thanks to Wendy, to Seth, and to Lou, who recently made PayPal donations, just like a one-time donation. And then also want to thank Shayna and Becky, who have set up monthly donations. So just want to thank you all for using PayPal to support Survivor Talk with D&D. You can do that on our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com. Over on the right column, you'll see PayPal buttons. But the best way, really, well, although that's a pretty good way, but but the easiest way, where it doesn't cost you anything else, is just shop Amazon like you normally would. We have Amazon links on our site. Just because you don't want to buy Catching Fire doesn't mean you can't click that link. It'll just take you to Amazon, and you can go do your Amazon shopping. So shop Amazon. Go ahead.
Sorry, I want to give a shout-out to my mom for
Yes.
purchasing a laptop today.
Well, let's hope she did it right.
Just because I helped her get up to an $800 laptop doesn't mean anything more than she doesn't.
No.
How much will y'all get from that? Oh, probably just a few dollars. Can we get something else? You'll need a bag. You'll probably want a new mouse,
Yeah, and you're probably going to want all this software.
Oh, yeah, gotta have it.
$15 worth.
Photoshop, everything.
You're
Gotta have it.
bad, David. Hey, where's your merge buff?
It's on my Tony doll.
Well, I see your Tony doll up there. I see Tony doll. That doesn't look like Tony, though.
Well, he's got an orange shirt and a bald head, so it's close.
Wow. How is it that merge buff fits that Tony doll, and it also fits my head?
Special effects.
This is scary. All right, are you ready for listener feedback? First,
Sure.
we have Mike from Canada. And I will be reading Mike from Canada. Greetings, D&D. That's Dwayne and David.
Unless you're looking at the picture, then it's David and Dwayne.
Unless you're... Well, anyway, here we go.
Anyway.
Although many may say Cass made a bad move, I think it will prove... Oh, by the way, this was for the merge episode.
Mm-hmm.
The first three feedback are for the merge episode. But it'll be fun to see what they said and laugh at their bad predictions. All right. Let's see. Although many may say Cass made a bad move, I think it will prove to be anything but that. First, they get rid of Sarah, who was looking for a way right from the beginning of the show to flip back to Tony and crew and disavow the promise she made to Cass. And as well, 2 idols are gone. Job well done, I say. Really, she was anything but a team player. Some might say, why not keep her till next week, then blindside Sarah? No way, the buzzer goes off, he says. Wrong move. Then you might be facing what you are now, a 5-on-5 with 2 idols, at least in the enemy camp, and the balance of power shifts. Everything depends on Cass going back to her old tribe, and she really has to, even though the olive branch was extended by Trish, because being at the bottom with these guys doesn't get her anywhere. Mike from Canada. P.S., he says. Great podcast. One last comment. I don't agree with you, David and Andy, about quitting. For what it's worth, here is my take. Quitting, leaving, throwing in the towel, call it what you will, is part of everyday life. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to... I taught my son to quit. No, I'm just playing. Here we go. Nothing to be mad about here. Regarding taking the place of one of the multitudes awaiting of survivor hopefuls that will see the game out, that argument just doesn't register. Yes, you can watch the show, but unless there have been similar experiences in your past, you simply don't know if what's coming at you is manageable. Dwayne, Lindsay didn't leave because she was on the short end of the numbers in her alliance or she couldn't deal with Trish. She left because her security blanket Cliff was given the heave-ho and she mentally crumbled. You are absolutely correct. The Brandon coach example illustrates this. After checking her exit interviews, I found myself uttering, "What? What did she say?" more than a few times. Be honest, Dwayne, the Brandon leaving and now Lindsay were great entertainment. In fact, Lindsay was pretty much a non-entity till we saw the teaser of her and Jeff on the beach. Andy made a point of quitting becoming much more common. Of course, he is right. But while the pool of candidates has been so expanded, so have the agendas of these people. Sorry to have rambled on, Mike.
Okay, this was far from a ramble. We've had rambles.
Yeah.
This was not a ramble.
That was a ramble.
This was an entree type feedback.
Yes.
It was good, but still, as a super fan who'd love to play, quitting just isn't an option. You know, I mean, there are people that stay out there through injuries and everything else, and to me, it's just somebody that wasn't prepared to be there. But I'm not going to disagree with him. It is part of life, but to me, they get what they cast, and unfortunately, that was her.
That's right. All right, next we have Brandon from Alabama, and shall we open with a clip?
He starts with hello D&D, and then he goes into...
Introduce a little anarchy. Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. Oh, and you know the thing about chaos? It's beer.
That, my friends, was Heath Ledger as the Joker in one of the greatest movies ever made, The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. I never knew he said it's fair at the end until I read the quote.
Have you seen the movie?
Yes, David. I've
just
seen
kidding.
the movie.
He rationalizes everything because he thinks everything he does is fair. And Brandon opens with this comment or this quote to say, I thought this was a perfect quote after this episode. We definitely have an agent of chaos this season, but you could call her Chaos Cass.
It's time to bring out Chaos Cass. Just shake things up and show my sass.
How did we go from a strong group of 6 new Apari to where we ended up at Tribal? Well, Chaos Cass had a plan.
It's time to bring out Chaos Cass.
Sorry.
I almost asked you, do I have to be prepared every time I say that for you to play
Every
that?
time you say Chaos Cass.
Okay, at least we're
Time
not
to
eating.
bring out Chaos Cass.
All
At
right.
least we're not eating donuts. Okay.
Wait.
Can I go on? Okay.
Yes.
With all of the talk the last episode about voting out the person who they thought would flip, and the way Apari was talking about staying strong with the 6, we should have seen it coming that someone would indeed flip. I understand why Cass would think that the only people she might be concerned about are Jeremiah and Sarah. I just don't know why she felt it necessary to tell Sarah this. Even though she told her she didn't think she would flip, the damage was already done. Cass lets everyone know what she is thinking a bit too freely. While sharing your concerns about someone to their face might not be detrimental in everyday life, it more often than not is in Survivor. That's a good point, that she sometimes is too honest. However, she's still there, and the people she was honest with are gone.
That's true.
So it worked in this situation because of Chaos Cash. You're right. You missed your cue.
Do you want me to play it again? Go ahead, Dave.
We are merged. This is probably one of my favorite parts of Survivor. It is my favorite part of Survivor, but anyway. I love seeing the new interactions, reconnections, and general rejuvenated spirit the castaways seem to have at the merge. The merge announcement also informed them of the new idol with special powers being hidden. I was a bit surprised that Jeff wasn't the one to break the news to them. I thought he would want to probe them and see what they thought about this new twist. I would be shocked if there weren't people looking for the idol, but I guess since it wasn't found, they didn't waste any time showing us the search. Now, of course, this is the last week's episode,
Right.
not this previous week.
This is the feedback for the merge episode.
Yes. New Solana needs to flip someone, and Tony knows that the best bet would be Sarah. I mean, why would she not flip? She had a previous alliance with Tony and with old Apari, Wu, and Trish. They could easily take out new Apari and then cut LJ and Jefra to be the final four. Tony basically laid out this plan to Sarah and did a good job in presenting a pretty good case. Trying to get her to swear on her badge was a great test to see how serious she was, too. Sarah completely botched this exchange. Never turned down an alliance. Did she not learn from Pinner in the Philippines? Never mind the fact that Tony's plan would probably be in Sarah's best interest, but being non-committal, she puts herself in danger to go immediately. If she says she is good with them, then even if she decides that she doesn't want to do that, at least she isn't watching the next tribal council from the jury box like she is now. Now Sarah is in what can be a dangerous place in Survivor, the swing vote position. It's especially dangerous when you let everyone know just how much of a swing vote you are. Just ask Christy Smith from Amazon about that. Rob Cesternino created this strategy of voting out the waffling swing vote. Sarah's excitement over being the swing vote shows how clueless she is about the game. No matter which way you go, there is a risk of making a group of people mad. Her adamancy that LJ and Tony didn't have idols was also puzzling, especially when everyone else was worried about it. Even Jeremiah thought LJ had an idol. I mean, come on, Sarah. I don't understand why she was so set on not voting out Trish. That makes no sense. As long as it is in New Solana, why does it matter if it's Trish? I would have thought she was trying to save Trish for another reason. If I was out there, Cass was dead on. This let them know Sarah wasn't in the 6. She was in the 1. Maybe that's why Cass took things into her own hands later. Fighting in front of
It's time to bring out Chaos Cass.
I didn't say Chaos Cass. I said Cass.
I know, but I was...
It's coming, though. Fighting in front of Trish wasn't a good move for Sarah and Cass. It appeared that Sarah started the discussion and Cass couldn't let it just be. Trish got a pretty good clue of their dynamics because of that. Then when Cass, Tasha, and Sarah went to talk about it, Tasha did a half-hearted job of trying to patch things up. Then she makes a stupid statement and tells Sarah to vote Cass out. Why on earth would you ever say that at this point, especially right in front of Cass? Yeah, why would Chaos Cass ever turn on these people? After Wu wins immunity, woo! Sarah says she is president and she will decide who goes home. It's funny because she basically did decide who went because of how bad she played it. That's a good point. Tony then made another compelling argument to rejoin him by laying out their path to the final 3. After this exchange, Tony knows she isn't with them.
Yep.
Trish took control and for once did something positive for her game by talking to Cass. Telling Cass she was on the bottom wasn't something that she didn't already know, but it helped cement this to Cass. She already knew that things were not going her way with New Apari. Oh, what a tribal. Tony announces he has an idol. I think this was a great move. It puts some worry in the other alliance and forces them to somewhat discuss their vote in the open. They were smart enough to already have a backup, but getting some idea where the vote was going could have been huge. He also knew he wouldn't have to play it on himself, so in his mind he had a 1 in 3 chance of giving it to their target. I also understand giving the idol to LJ after they were obviously voting for Tony initially. What I don't understand is LJ playing his idol for Tony. He should have either kept it if he knew they had Cass or given it to Jefra or Trish. Playing the idol on Jefra or Trish could have saved all of the New Solana's game, even if Chaos Cass had not struck. That being said, I still see LJ winning this game, maybe now with Jefra and Chaos Cass by his side. When that first vote for Jefra was read, I thought, well, that was a waste of 2 idols and bye-bye Jefra. Oh, but Chaos Cass had a bit more planned. I did think some of the reactions were a bit much when the last vote was read, especially Tony's. He needs to get these people's vote at the end of the game, so he needs to cool the celebration, although I do understand his elation.
Yep.
The looks on the new Apari's faces were priceless. Then they all just said Cass, and she just gave them that, oh well, shrug. How great was that?
Mm-hmm.
I know there has been a lot of people calling this a stupid move and calling Cass out, but I have to support Cass here. I've read a bit of a few Sarah interviews, and she said that she and Spencer had an in-game deal, and Tasha had begun to distance herself from Cass. She even said that they had already talked about cutting Cass before the final 6, which proves the point that Cass knew she was on the bottom.
Yep.
Cass knew the writing was on the wall and took her opportunity to change her fate. She may have no chance at getting some of the votes if she makes it to the end now, but she can hope they respect her for playing the game. I agree. If she had stayed with them, she would have been gone soon. At least she has a shot at the end game now. I know if I were in her shoes, I would respect her move, especially if I had planned on cutting her soon anyway. Unfortunately, many players don't think like this. They expect everyone to sit back and be a part of getting them to the end. Chaos Cass just got them before they got her. Good on you, Cass. Can't wait to see what our agent of Chaos Cass, has in store down the road. Brandon from Alabama.
It's time to bring out Chaos Cass, to shake things up and show my sass. No one knows how dangerous I am.
I think Brandon makes a lot of points that we as couch potato fans see, and that we respect it because she jumped before they did. She took on 5 and beat them for that one tribal council.
That's right.
And even Spencer said it's not about getting to the end. It's about sometimes making the big move that gets you on that path, where instead of just playing until you get to the end. I think that's what he was trying to say. But it's about sometimes you got to step up and make that big move. She made that big move.
She sure did. Brandon, that was one of your best feedback ever.
Thank you.
I mean, really.
Was it the way I read it?
Huh?
Was it the way I read it?
No. You'll
Good, 'cause
understand later.
It's not easy reading on this little phone.
Yes, you are reading on the phone. By the way, if you want a buff like we have, merge buff and all those other buffs, go to buffinc.com. Go to our website. There's a buff logo on the left side. Click it. Get yourself a buff. All right, next is from Marwin. Now, before you turn off the radio, don't turn it off. Because I know some of you think Marwin is spoiled and everything because he wins things. But Brandon Jones, who we just heard, has a higher score than Marwin does on the Fun Office pools. Marwin is not spoiled this season at all. And nothing in this feedback would be spoilerish even if he was. All right? Just clear that up. Don't turn off the podcast. All right, here we go. Again, this is for the merge episode. Hi, Dwayne and David. This was a fun merge episode, and I'm greatly enjoying the season so far. But I don't see this merge being the greatest ever. Maybe I would if I was a supporter of bad gameplay, which we had in spades this time almost from everybody, Trish being the exception, but also from the moment the season started. Clearly, it was one of the most entertaining. People always have this knee-jerk reaction to put the latest new thing on a pedestal and proclaim it the greatest. Maybe because subconsciously, by witnessing it, they became a part of it. I see Cass's move very similar to what Eliza did in Episode 2 of Vanuatu, when she heard she was on the chopping block, and Dolly, similar to Sarah, was sandwiched by 2 alliances of 4 older and 4 younger women. Dolly looked as wishy-washy as Sarah did this episode, making Eliza believe she couldn't trust and leave her fate in Dolly's hands, and decided to flip, this way eliminating the swing vote, Dolly, but also losing the trust and the respect of 3 members of that tribe. The irony is that Dolly stayed loyal to Eliza's alliance as Sarah did to Cass's, proving they both, Eliza and Cass, aren't that great at reading people on Survivor. Cass flipped mostly because she didn't trust Sarah and wanted her spot to be safe in the near future by making sure she won't be on the losing side of the vote. I believe her decision was also very much determined by her emotional state at that time. Eliza doomed her gameplay by being perceived as a flip-flopper, having a difficult personality with inappropriate social skills for that particular group of people, always an outsider and never in a core alliance for the rest of the season, used by others to further their own game and discarded when no longer needed. Fun fact, Eliza was a law student at that time, and now, like Cass, she's a lawyer. Cass has to do a lot of hard work to avoid the same fate. She made 5 people mad at her at the moment, but it doesn't look like she's planning to mend what's left of those relationships in the next episode, which is the one we just saw. Maybe she's hoping that someone will want her to sit with them at the final tribal and try to make that part of their strategy, but she'll have a hard time to get the jury vote for her. Or maybe other people will try to copy her game and start to upset the cart, in which case she will get to look like any other tree in the forest. This is much more difficult path to the final tribal, but with a better chance to get votes. Could make the argument she started the ball rolling and survived the mayhem. Or maybe she'll get her hands on that nasty special idol. There might still be hope for her. As she already stated, there's still a long way to go. But they could also turn against her in one of the next 2 votes, after they don't need her anymore. History shows it happened before with other traitors and wildcards, as they proved they couldn't be trusted. Which, by the way, I think Cass is going to be in the final 3, just because, as we talked about in our roundtable discussion with Andy and Colton and Steve, I think they are giving her I think they're protecting her in the edit, so that whenever she gets to final 3, it won't be an obvious she's not going to win. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and back to his point since we stopped, I picked Sarah at the beginning. I like Sarah. I still like Sarah, but she couldn't have played that episode any worse from what we saw. She made nobody feel comfortable she was going with them.
Yeah.
She thought she could ride that swing till the end, and it just broke before she got there.
That's right. What about the rest of the cast? Tony tries to play with cards up his sleeves, but in his overexcitement, he scatters them all over the place. He's very entertaining. LJ, pretty solid so far, very astute in his remarks, but made a bonehead decision when playing his idol out of bromance, showing that he might not be as sharp when forced to think quick on his feet. But even when you make mistakes, Lady Luck can be your savior. Sarah, for a police officer, she doesn't seem to have much of a gut feeling when it comes to the game of Survivor. Spencer, good game so far, but with that comment to Cass, he is the living proof of how hard it is to control your emotions out there. It's never a good time to make enemies. Tasha, practice might make perfect. Sadly, not on your first rodeo. Better luck next time. Tasha's still my pick to win, just because I don't want to give up all those points.
Yeah.
So, Jeremiah, the good old Southern charm doesn't get you the cheerleader or the million. Jefra, bland, just bland. It's her name. It's funny how the editors are taking advantage of that. Morgan, when you are surrounded by unattractive men and old women, both of those were in quotes, the only thing remaining to flirt with is a bamboo bed. In your dreams, baby. Wu might be a ninja who hides in plain sight, but is cutting logs in the shadow of the night. Trish, oh my, the infectious laugh. I guess from now on at the Pilates sessions and the strategy classes she will initiate, we'll get so much merry. You'd better be laughing with her if you want to pass. That's all I have for this week's, folks. See ya. And then he added, if this makes it into a listener feedback show, I have to add that in case the contestants who listen to the podcast see some of my comments as mean-spirited, please don't take it personal. I like everyone this season, and I enjoy every minute with them on screen. I'm only criticizing the narrow scepter of their edit, with the good and bad traits of their in-game personas.
That's exactly right. All this is about edits and perspectives, so that's a really good finishing point.
Yeah, that was a very good feedback. So, next we have Brandon from Cleveland.
Hey, what's up, Survivor Talk with D&D? This is Brandon from Cleveland. Not really calling to give feedback, but today is April 11th, 2014. So definitely got to give a birthday shout out to Dwayne Stroud. Happy birthday, brother. Have a wonderful day, and I will be listening. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Thank you, Brandon. Where'd you go, David?
Very nice of him.
Where
Said
did you go?
take care of some maintenance.
Oh. I thought maybe you were going to show me what my gift is.
No.
Oh. All right. Thank you, Brandon from Cleveland. Best feedback of the night. Yes, I turned 45 years old on April 11th. I am halfway to 90.
Congratulations.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Mo Gooner from London. And David, I expect you to do this whole thing in a London accent.
I think after people hearing you talk like that, they'd be glad I won't.
Hello, guys. I'm a huge fan of your podcast. Go ahead, David.
And I'm a Survivor fanatic from London, England. Here's what I think will happen this week. And we are on the new episode feedback.
Yes.
I think the Tony Wu feud is a small distraction that won't amount to much. The block of 6 will split a 3-3 vote. They'll try to flush an idol, and one of Spencer, Tasha, and Jeremiah will be going home. But wait, I have a gut feeling that it won't be a simple vote. The 6 will expect the minority 3 to stick together and try to flip someone over. I don't think they'll do that. One of them will throw another one of the 3 under the bus. So he's saying that it won't be a 3-3-3 vote. It'll be a 3-4-2 vote. He thinks one of the 3 is going to flip. Who do you think would do it? I think the best person to do it is Jeremiah. To go back to LJ and Jefra.
Well, let's see what he thinks.
Oh, does he predict that?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Guess I should have read it before I read it. Here's what I'm hoping for. Oh, here's what he's hoping. Okay. Spencer will pull one of the best moves in the history of the show. He's going to be one of the 2 targets in a 3-3 split vote. He should go to Tasha. Tell her that we 2 brains should stick together. We should beat the 3-3 split vote by writing Jeremiah's name down. Okay, that would be rather smart to go with that vote.
Absolutely.
Well done. Well done, Mo. All right. He should go to Jeremiah, tell him that Sarah is gone, but you and me should stick together. We should beat the 3-3 split vote by writing Tasha's name down.
Bravo. Bravo.
He should tell each of them that this has to be kept as a secret from the other one, and that our cover should be that we're sticking together. He's got good enough of a relationship with each to pull it off that way. He'll beat the 3-3 split. He'll decide who goes home, won't have to use his idol, and ensure he'll make it to the final 7, where the alliance of 6 should crack in a 4-3 vote. Wow, that's like blog worthy. I'm sorry, but that's brilliant. That is good. My guess is 3 votes Spencer, 3 of the split votes, and 1 vote Tasha. Poor Jeremiah. I added the poor part. And 5 votes Jeremiah, the 3 other split votes, and Tasha and Spencer. I hope this wasn't too much. Dave, Dwayne, have a good day. It was not too much. It was awesome. P.S. Sarah said in her exit interviews that she had an alliance with Spencer and Jeremiah. Then he sent a follow-up email. Long story told short, the 6 will stick together for another week. Spencer won't probably use his idol. One of the minority 3 will be thrown under the bus by another, but I could be wrong. I'm usually not. Awesome. That's great.
Yes. Mo, you have a new fan.
He's writing Fantasy Survivor. I like that.
Yes. That's Mo Gooner from London.
I wonder who's his football team. He didn't put that in there.
I don't know. Probably your favorite team.
Yes, but I don't have the blanket up anymore. I need to find another place for that blanket.
Yeah. I mean, I like your whole new look for the video, but but I do miss...
It's missing a part of me.
Oh, no, my flag fell.
You just now saw that.
Uh-huh. We'll put that right there. That's not working, David.
You need to iron that shirt. It's a little wrinkly right there.
There we go. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mo from London. Mo, rod in next week and tell me how poorly I did on my accent. David, you need a 5-hour energy drink, my friend.
I'm here. I'm just smiling.
All right, Jennifer from Kentucky. Oh, I bet she's sad right now.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, too bad. They didn't.
I wonder if she's the one that she wanted to bet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hi, Dwayne and David. I don't have a lot of time to write, but wanted to leave a few thoughts. I sure missed your feedback show last week, but I enjoyed the roundtable discussion. It gave me a lot of insight. By the way, if you listen to us on Stitcher, for some reason, Stitcher did not pick up our roundtable discussion.
What?
Yeah, it's because I put out Chaos Casts right after I put out the roundtable discussion.
Oh.
And Stitcher wasn't smart enough to figure that out. So you can go to our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com, and find the roundtable. Just do a little search box, roundtable, and find it and listen to it right there on our website.
It's worth the fine.
It really is. It's 2 hours of amazing discussion.
Yes.
All right, she continues. This week's episode was just okay for me. The idol hunt was pretty funny. It's bad enough that Spencer left the clue folded up in his pants, but when he saw Woo, why didn't he go get his pants? I'm a Spencer fan, but that was not smart. I do think that Woo had every right to look at the clue, but I do not think it was okay to take it. I agree. I guess all is fair in Survivor, But I'm just not okay with stealing, and I think that's exactly what that was, stealing. I agree with her. If you're playing Monopoly with somebody, just because they leave the table doesn't mean you can grab their Monopoly money or grab their hotels. That's stealing.
So if you selected a card, and there's like a pile of cards that said the next time you pass Boardwalk, you should only buy one up hotel because if you bought two, you'd lose money faster. And then you put the card down and then walked away to get a drink, and I picked up the card and read it and thought, wow, what a great suggestion from the game. And then I give it back to you. You would call that stealing?
No, he didn't give it back to him.
Well, he couldn't. It was in shreds. It was wet. It was in shreds.
That's my point. He took it.
Yes.
I'm allowed to look at your property.
I still think that a chess master could have memorized those 4 lines and then destroyed the clue.
Yes, well, hey, I'm not saying Spencer shouldn't have done that. I'm just saying what I'm saying.
But it's like she said, if it's not against the rules, all's fair in Love, War, and Survivor.
But I think it is against the rules. I just think they let it happen. That's what I think. It happened, and in the spur of the moment, production didn't stop it. Remember, what's-his-face took Colton's idol and threw it in the ocean.
Which idols are considered personal possessions.
Well, so are clues.
Okay, if you want to hear the rest of this conversation, go on our Facebook page, because I'm actually on his side on the Facebook page until the conversation ends, and then I'm on the other side. So.
All right. Let's see. Here she goes. I had to pick a new winner because my team lost in the final. Oh, wait, no, that's not what she said.
Oh, boy. I did too, Jennifer.
She didn't say that. I had to pick a new winner because my pick to win, Sarah, is gone. Aw, David's is too. I chose L.J., you and half the continent.
So did I.
But I'm second-guessing that now. I think it may be Trish. Well, that's a shocker.
Yeah.
That's a shocker.
Well, read the next point, yeah.
Yeah, she is getting a positive edit and is making enough moves to defend herself at the final tribal council. LJ is getting a positive edit also, but I think the others will see him as a threat soon.
Okay, so if nobody brings up Lindsay again, do you think it's kind of one of those things where Trish has gotten a new start after Lindsay left? They had to show why Lindsay was leaving. They had to give it some reason other than she just didn't want to stay because Cliff wasn't there. You know, we kind of did that with Colton. He didn't want to stay because he couldn't be with Caleb. He just didn't like the way the game was going, and that's kind of how Lindsay would have looked if they hadn't had the Trish argument and her saying, I'm going to go off on her if I don't leave or something doesn't change.
Right.
So, but since that moment, Trish has been nothing but quiet, strategic, and polite to everybody out there.
Oh, yeah, and they're showing her make good moves.
Which leads me to believe that what we saw was just a snippet of the situation and not the whole Trish that we've been seeing the whole season.
The whole Trish, and nothing but the Trish.
There you go.
All right, where are we at? I really have no idea who is going home this week.
She should talk to Mo. He's got a lot of good ideas.
Mo has some good ideas. I guess it depends on if you believe the previews or not. I'm kind of thinking it's a red herring because they are promoting it so much, but you never know. As of now, my pick to go home is Jeremiah or Tasha. Can't wait to hear everyone's feedback. Thanks, guys. Jennifer from Kentucky.
I think the last tribal council, because it ended with kind of a predictable outcome, I think they want to throw us a big teaser.
Yeah.
And throwing us the Wu Tony conflict is a big tease, but I agree that I don't think it's going to happen yet.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Ooh.
Next, Will, the giant ninja. Hoya!
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the giant ninja. No more sound effects? Okay. Looks like y'all are just too busy with real life to do a feedback show for the Head of the Snake episode. As if anything could possibly be more important than two best friends talking about the show you love. So I'm going to devote half of this email to my snake thoughts and half to my treasure thoughts. Call it my ninja stealth mode. First, the Head of the Snake. Number 1, how about my tiny ninja Woo with those toe shoes, huh? Just FYI, I have a pair myself, and I like to train in them, especially when we train outside. And if he's allowed to wear them, good on him for doing so. If he's not allowed to wear them, then better on him. That's the thing about ninjas. We cheat. Number 2, what not to do. If anyone wants to know exactly how not to behave when you're the swing vote, rewatch this episode. Oh my Lanta. Sarah played that about as badly as possible. She had neither side believing in her when she should have had both sides believing in her. I give Sarah kudos for wanting to play without breaking a word, and I recognize that swearing on her badge means something to her. Fine, good for her. But then don't string people along. If you're going to play the honorable game, then tell people that. Tell Tony I've decided to go with them. Good luck, man, and let that be that. Don't string Tony along while telegraphing that you're stringing him along. That's why you're gone. You played Tony while playing Cass, and they decided to get together and vote you out. I'm sorry to see you go, Sarah. You were a treat to watch. Bottom line, you should have lied to Tony. You'd still be there if you had.
Absolutely true.
Number 3, my sweet Cassie. I knew this was coming. I love me some Cass. Let me be clear, this looked like a bad move for her to flip, but it looked like what the editors wanted it to look like. I know that many are refusing to compare it to Cochran 1.0's flip against Ozzy, because that would have been 6-6, whereas Cass's side had the advantage. But Cass read the tea leaves and saw herself as 6th out of 6th. If she's right about that, then it was a good move. She put herself in position to be sitting at 6 in a new alliance, but with the opportunity to advance. We can't really know whether she was actually 6th. All we have is what we've been shown. Cass made a read and reacted. That's Survivor, baby, as my tiny ninja would say. Number 4. Idols everywhere. I really love Team TV. He might become my favorite Survivor ever if he keeps his shenanigans up. But it must be noted. What?
I said, go Tony.
Yeah. But it must be noted that he wasted his and LJ's by proxy idol. He misread the situation and played his idol on someone with 0 votes. You know, I understand his point about that, but I still think he made the right move because LJ's the obvious second vote. You know, it depends on what they're thinking about idols, but I could see why he did it on LJ. Moreover, and more importantly, if he hadn't egged it for the camera and tried to force the situation, he could have played his idol and had it nullify votes. If he just sat there without anybody knowing he had an idol, he could have played it on himself, and the votes would have been switched to Jefra. Or if he had thought they were voting for LJ, he could have played it for LJ, and LJ probably would have played his for Tony. It was Tony's showboating before the vote that caused the Brainiacs to switch the vote to Jefra. Nullify the power of the idols. Tony's been brilliant this season, but he misplayed that one. Well, we can ask him that after the season. See what he says.
Yeah.
Number 5, 0 chance of winning the game. I love Spencer this season, but I couldn't help but compare his reaction to Cass's flip this time with his reaction when she voted Garrett out. Remember when Garrett was blindsided? Spencer made a joke about it. Make room for me at the bottom. He was self-deprecating, and it was charming. When Sarah was blindsided, he was judgmental. Cass, 0 chance of winning the game. He went from funny to bratty, from charming to petulant, from rolling with the punches to self-righteous. I worry what this change in reaction foretells about the end game, because I really do want to see him in the finals.
Yeah, I do too.
And now, on to the Mad Treasure Hunt. Number 6, Spencer and Cassie sitting in a tree. ARGUING. We saw more of an ugly side of Spencer when he had his reaction to Cass's big move. His aloof, fake laugh at Cass talking strategy was unbecoming, and it was good to see him account for it later in the episode. But I wonder if more was said than we saw. He felt the need to apologize about it, not only to Cass, but also at Tribal Council. I still think that the editors are protecting Spencer a bit, which bodes well for him going forward. Ninja Stealth Mode, number 7. Woo, 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 woo. Tony Spy Shack has nothing on Woo's Ninja Stealth Mode. Well, nothing other than a hit parody song. We've gotten glimpses of Woo playing the game in the past, but nothing like this episode. Woo predicting that there would be an idol clue somewhere. Woo camping out to watch what Spencer was doing. Woo finding and running away with Spencer's clue. Go, Ninja, go, Ninja, go. Almost sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Go, Ninja, go.
Yeah.
Number 8, speaking of which, the idol clue, drama, intrigue, thievery, Survivor, baby. I have no doubt that many people are mad that Woo cheated. Boo-hoo, this is Survivor, baby. If it's not explicitly against the rules, then it's not against the rules. Idols belong to people. You can't steal idols. Idol clues, on the other hand, #... Woo did nothing wrong. or rather, he did nothing against the rules of Survivor. Personally, I would have read the clue and left it there. I wouldn't have run off with it. But that's a strategy thing as much as an integrity thing. Once he saw it, he had every right, heck, every obligation to read it. Besides, ninjas cheat.
Sounds like a lawyer talking to me.
Sounds like you should go ahead and put that on his business card. Ninjas cheat. Now, I think Wu ran with it because Spencer was coming to get it. I think, because he didn't have a chance to read it. I think that's why he ran. Number 9, I would have liked to see Cassie join up with Spencer again. She obviously put some thought into doing so, and tonight would have been a great opportunity. I wonder whether Spencer thought to share with her that he had found the hidden immunity idol. He even could have lied to her about special powers. He could have told her that he had the idol with special powers and made up what they were, though Spencer, of all people on the season, has probably figured out what they will be. If he'd shared with her that he had an idol, would she have told him that Morgan was the target? Moreover, though, would Spencer have trusted Cass? I don't know. The two of them could have gotten on the same page and run the game tonight. Hopefully they'll have another chance to do so soon. I think Spencer knew the target was Morgan, and I really don't think he cared. I think it's down to Spencer and a few people, but it's Spencer and Spencer. That's all he's worried about. Number 10, final 9. 3 brains, 3 bronze, 3 beauties. This is Survivor, baby. And the next time on Survivor suggests that we may be seeing the breakdown of the Brawniacs. This is getting good, guys. I seriously can't wait until next week. If one of the 5 goes, then we're looking at 4 versus 3 with a swing vote and an idol on the short side. Could get very interesting. I'm still holding out hope for a Tony Spencer Cass final 3. I know it won't happen, man, but would that be a fun final tribal council? Actually, it really, really would.
Yes.
That's 3 really good talkers. Well, I've written enough, and David's mouth is probably dry, which it is, so I added that part in there. I know that you guys asked that we keep stuff to 5 minutes, but this was 2 episodes worth. And like I said, ninjas cheat. Later, peeps, Will at the Giant Ninja.
All right. Good job, Will.
More great feedback. Man, we should skip feedback weeks more often. These are really good feedback coming in this week.
All right. Next, we have our friend Wendy from South Dakota.
Hi, Dwayne and David and all my Survivor friends. This is Wendy from South Dakota, just calling in with a little bit of feedback from the last episode. I am so enjoying this season, just all the twists and turns and fun little things that are happening. I wasn't at all sad to see Morgan go. I'm not a big fan of people with entitlement issues. So because you feel like you deserve something because you're cute doesn't fly with me. But it seems to be working for her so far, but I wonder how that will change as she ages. I was excited to see all the things that happened with Wu. There was the question of did he cheat or did he do something that he shouldn't have done? And I guess my answer to that would be I don't think he cheated or did anything he wasn't supposed to do. That clue was left for anybody to find at the reward. And even though he wasn't one of the people that went on the reward, I felt it was very foolish of Spencer to just leave it sitting, in his pants like that. It's, a well-known fact that people can go through your things while you're not there. So, like, if you put that clue in your bag and you leave your bag unattended, people can go through it. I thought what Wu did was smart thinking, smart playing, and I just found it hilarious the way he picked up the clue and just ran off with it. I mean, to me, that was fair game. I mean, if you have something that you don't want anybody else to know about, you better hide it somewhere that no one's going to look. And, and he didn't even fold it up and put it in his pants pocket. He just left it laying in the pants so that when Wu picked it up and acted like he was, I know that Wu was trying to see if anything was going to fall out, but it still looked enough like just throwing the pants to him, but he was obviously looking to see if anything was going to come out, because as soon as that piece of paper came out, he snatched that up and took off. So I consider that fair game. I like Spencer. I think he's a great player. I just think he had a poor move there. But it was great TV. I mean, to see Wu running off and wondering if Spencer was going to catch him, and then if he did catch him, what was going to happen. You know, I thought it was great TV. I was enjoying every minute of that episode. Looking forward to the episodes to come. I heard on the last podcast you guys did that LJ is a member of our group, and LJ, if you're listening, I am so rooting for you. I've been pulling for you from the beginning, and but I'm afraid for you because you're too handsome, you're too smart, you're too good at puzzles, you're too strong, so that makes me afraid for you, but I'm still going to root for you every step of the way. So that's my little LJ plug there. Thanks for all you guys do. It's been a joy listening to your podcast and enjoying this season alongside you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.
This is what's so great about Survivor and what's so great about our Facebook friends and our listeners, and of course they're our friends, but between Jennifer and Wendy, you got both sides of the Wu Clue situation.
Right.
A fan of the steal and a fan of it, the fact that it is a steal. You know, they're coming from both sides of the situation. I agree. And that's what's so neat about talking about Survivor, especially when you get on our Facebook page and talk about this stuff. We will talk about it for hours and days after the episode. Yeah. But I do understand the entitlement part because, as y'all probably know, if you've read anything on Facebook, Dwayne thinks his name should be first because he does 80% of the work for this podcast and our website. So I'm used to the entitlement thing, and I'm just over it. You know, that's why I would vote him out first opportunity I was given.
Oh,
but,
right.
Yeah, LJ might listen. He does listen to our recap show, so maybe he'll listen to this one and get Wendy's shout out.
Well, we'll just have to put on our Facebook group that Wendy gives him a shout out.
Yeah,
there's some LJ love going on there.
Oh yeah, but then again, I mean, everything she said about him is kind of similar to what JT was like, and he kind of ran it to the end. So
that's right. All right, we have one more feedback, and it's Brandon from Alabama again.
Come back.
What do you know? Even though we didn't read his last one last week, he sent in another one. Hello, D&D. Yes, I was the one that sent in feedback last week. I usually don't listen to the shows until Monday, so I was a bit surprised when I went to download the feedback show last Monday morning and couldn't find it. I checked throughout the morning a few times until I decided to check Twitter to see what was up. Then I found out that all of the time I spent carefully crafting what I considered my very best feedback ever was all for naught. I bet neither of you even took the time to read it.
No, I did read it, and so did you.
Yes, we did. In all seriousness, I really enjoyed the special podcast last week. On to this week. While this episode couldn't possibly live up to last week, it had some great moments and trimmed some fat. Cass was totally right after Tribal. She got rid of the person she wanted, and LJ and Tony no longer have idols. This opens up so many more possibilities. Cass actually becomes more valuable because other people will need her, and LJ and Tony won't feel as safe, and will be much more willing to mix things up without the protection of an idol. While most people are hating Cass's move, I think she made the right move in flipping. The new Apari Alliance was ready to drop Cass as soon as they could anyway. She might have lost a few jury votes by flipping, but she wasn't going to make it much further if she didn't do something. She just needs to make some other kind of power shift happen if she wants to make the end game. I have faith in Chaos Cass. Like she said, the people she screwed over will get over it. Morgan's laying around the shelter in general laziness screamed, quote, "I'm not a fan of this show and I really don't care about being here," unquote. Just contribute around camp and that will go a long way in showing how much you want to be there. Spencer played off finding the idol clue very well. He didn't do such a good job after he made it back to camp. Wu did a great job thwarting Spencer's idol hunt. The whole scene was great. Wu finding the clue after he tossed Spencer's pants to him and picking the clue up and sprinting back to camp to let everyone else in on the information was intense. It was a bit surprising that Wu was the one on top of things. Spencer's frustration was understandable, and I did feel bad for him. In the end, he did end up finding the idol, so I guess that made up for his earlier misstep. I was shocked that it was just a normal idol, however. For me, part of the tension in the hunt was the idea that it was the Tyler Perry idol that was being searched for. The immunity challenge looked miserable. I would have not fared well unless I knew that I absolutely had to win that one. It was nice seeing Spencer pull out the win. It's always fun seeing a big fan win an immunity challenge for me. I always imagine myself wearing immunity and how I would feel. The choice of voting out Morgan was absolutely the right move. He keeps Cass happy and in with that group. They also knew that she would probably be the least likely to have an idol or an idol played on her. The others didn't seem like they would go out of their way to save Morgan. I am also in favor of booting a goat as well. Keeping a major goat like Morgan around just makes it tempting for members of your alliance to vote you out and drag her to the end. It's usually a pretty safe move.
Yep.
The whole idea of an alliance of comfort versus an alliance of numbers is interesting. Cass was in an alliance that had the numbers with the new Apari, but she was on the outs of that alliance. Therefore, she went in a short-term majority. They were ready to cut her as soon as they could. By flipping, she is in an alliance of comfort. Her new alliance needs her and is grateful to her for a few votes. She has people in this new alliance that haven't already determined that they want her gone. There are also possibilities that she will be needed as a number to backstab someone else in that alliance. Say LJ and Jefra don't want to go to 5 with 3 Brawn. They can pull in Cass and someone else at Final 7. If Tony wants to take out the big physical threats in LJ and possibly Wu, Cass would be the perfect person to pull in to do that as well. This alliance of comfort can open up a lot of possibilities for the endgame for Cass and also give the other members of the alliance some room to maneuver if they want to make a play against someone later. Thanks, guys. Brandon from Alabama.
All right. I know we've had some good feedback shows, but this has been an amazing feedback show because I'm probably going to sound redundant, but I am in complete agreement with what he just said about Cass because when you think about it, and thanks to our feedback, it helps me think about it even more. She's sitting in a situation where she knows these 5 people are solid. Spencer, Tasha, Morgan, Jeremiah, and Sarah, these people are solid, and she knows the other group not as well. So why stay number 6? Guaranteed number 6 with this group. Nobody's there going to keep you, and if anything, if Wu is the last one left and he wins, they're going to send her home. Why stay with that group when you can instill a little chaos, get rid of one of them, show them they're not in power, and join this group temporarily? See, I don't see where Cass is playing the swing vote or the swing player. I think she's just playing both sides, which is what Sarah should have done. She's going to pick and choose when to make her next move, whether it gets her to the end or not. But if I know I have no chance of winning, if all 9, 10, 11 people look at me and say, none of us will ever vote for you, then I'm going to go as far as I can and disrupt as much of the game as I can. Yeah, I don't want to go to the jury. I want to go to as far as the end. You get more money when you make it to the end. But at the same time, she's now got these 5 people confident, and she knows, like she told Spencer, there is a lot of game left, little guy. A lot of things can happen. Look at Tony and Wu. Look how friendly they are now. That's not going to last. She knows the game.
That's right.
So I love it. I love that she made the move when she did, and I think it was her best chance of getting to the end and possibly winning if she can.
Excellent feedback, my friends.
Yes.
Excellent feedback. That's why we love to do the feedback show. So let's get to our CBS Express teaser for next week.
And that will be episode, 7? No, episode 8.
Episode 8.
Which will be called Bag of Tricks. Who's going to say that?
I have no idea.
I think Tony is going to own this season in titles. I would say it's his title.
Well,
again.
either him or Cass.
That's true. That's true. The teaser is one castaway's paranoia could lead to a game-changing flip. And the grade school memory challenge looks more like a college exam for several exhausted castaways.
Oh, that'll be funny.
Yes.
That'll be good. Of course, Tony's the paranoid one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
In fact, I was trying to find songs I could use for parodies.
Yeah.
And I went to several paranoid songs. I always feel like somebody's watching
me. There you go.
All right, and who can it be now? All right, the D&D Survivor Challenge. The challenge, the Survivor Fantasy League that David and I have, that we're playing against each other, and many of you are playing against your friends. So,
Yep.
David, help us out here.
Well, thanks to Shayna's excellent moderation of the challenge itself, here's the rundown of points for this week. Jefra got 4 points. Spencer got 10, whatever. Latasha got 2.
Wait. Are you going to say why they got 4 points?
Well, let me give the points first in case somebody's writing it down. Do the points, and if we need to do something later, we can.
Okay.
So, Jefra got 4, Spencer got 10, Latasha got 2, Trish got 1, Woo got 1, LJ got 5, Morgan got 7, Cass got 2, Tony got 2, and Jeremiah got 4.
All right.
So for a little detail behind this, let's see. Of course, this went under the team tribal challenge of 2 because they were broken up into 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody on the winning tribe, which was the LJ, Jefra, Morgan, Jeremiah, and Spencer, each got 2 points for winning that challenge.
Oh, yeah.
And
they also got 2 points for going on reward.
Going on the reward, correct. Everybody that was in that challenge. Of course, each castaway got a point for starting the episode. Morgan picked up 3 points for joining the jury. Castaways with a blur, Tony, Morgan, Latasha, and LJ. And even though Morgan had 2 blurs at one time, we said at the beginning that once you get a blur, you're done for the episode. You can't get more than 1 point.
Because more than likely they're going to blur you.
Yeah. Cass got a point for saying blindside.
Yes, she did.
And Spencer found an idol. Big deal, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Got a ton of points for that.
So who's winning, David?
Let's see. For this week, it was pitiful. I picked up 9 points. I think Shayna did a little too well on her moderation here. And Dwayne picked up 30.
Oh, my gosh.
However, you're only leading by 6 points.
What is our final score right now after 7?
166 for me, 172 for you.
Oh, a very small margin.
You're only leading by 6. However, you still have 6 in the game, and I have 3.
Oh!
So it's likely going to get worse unless LJ, Cass, or Tony can start pulling out some more idols.
And Spencer has an idol.
And I don't think he's going to play it this week. I think Mo has contacted Spencer and given him some good ideas on what to do. He's not going to have to play it.
Oh, you got to love the D&D Survivor Challenge.
Oh, I do. It's fun. And thanks to Shayna for doing all the detailed work behind it.
All right, now on to our fantasy pool, which we have like 60 people playing this.
Well, this is Fun Office Pool. We just had fantasy. We can't.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, our 2 questions for this week are barbecue questions, or bonus questions, whatever you want to call them. What gender wins the immunity challenge?
Bum, bum, bum.
Male or female?
Those are our choices?
Yes.
I chose male.
I did too.
All right.
The second question is, what gender is voted off?
Bum, bum, bum. Male.
Can we go first? Male
Sure.
or female? Yes. Male, female, or host? Yes, those are your 3 choices. Male.
I also chose male.
Okay.
All right.
Points.
Points.
Who have you put your points on?
I put 10 points on Tony,
Mm-hmm.
10 points on Jeremiah.
For probably the 3rd week in a row, I'm putting all 20 points on Jeremiah.
Are
He's
you
got to
really?
go home sooner or later. I'm not buying the red herring thing. I'm not buying the flip.
Yeah.
The paranoia could lead to a game-changing flip, is what the teaser says.
Right.
So I'm just going to go for broke and go for I've got to get back in the top 50 of our group. So I'm going for 20 points on Jeremiah.
Yeah.
But everybody else probably will too, so I won't catch anybody.
I think I'm like 17th or something. I don't know.
You're in the top 20.
So there you go.
I'm closer to your age than being in the top 20.
I do not have a crazy theory, nor do I have a song parody for this week.
You should have had an amp this morning.
Well, I was doing other things today.
I understand.
It's a Monday. I was
Yes.
working. So I did listen to some songs thinking of future parodies, but I do not have one.
Okay.
So, hey, Wednesday night we will be live after the show. What time do we normally do that? 9:30? Yes.
Oh, yeah, 10:30.
10:30.
Shoo!
10:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, because I'll be watching Delayed this week.
Yes, we will be live with our recap and discussion. Last week we had a record number of viewers watching us live. We would love to have that again. That'd be awesome. But either way, if you download it on iTunes, that's what we want you to do for sure. Even if you watch it live, please download from iTunes. And while we're talking about iTunes, would you just take a minute and go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and maybe leave us a review? Not you, David. You've already done that.
Oh, sorry.
Because the only way we're going to get on that front page when people type in Survivor is if we keep getting consistent 5-star ratings and consistent reviews. So somehow shows that are 10 years old are ahead. I don't understand how iTunes does this, but anyway, whatever. So, all right, David, how can they follow us on the social media?
Well, there is Twitter, and you can follow the show, which is at Survivor_talk, and that's Dwayne. He takes care of that. Was it handle? Whatever that is.
My Twitter handle, yes.
The Twitter handle. Or you can follow me at David_STWDD, and you can look for this. There'll be a link to this podcast, of course, and there'll be a link to Survivor by the Slice within the next probably 12 hours. And then you can also find everything else as well on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/groups/Survivor Talk. Come talk to us. Come talk to our friends. We have had a Romanian invasion over the last 7 days, which is awesome.
What the heck?
It is so cool. We love that people across the ocean we're talking about Survivor, and it's so cool. We've added some graphic artists. Alina is sharing her movie posters with Survivor faces on them, which is really cool.
I can't wait till she finds a picture of you and makes a Game of Thrones poster. Alina, that's what I want. David on a Game of Thrones poster. That's what I want.
But we love that. We got so many, and another Iceland fan friend to join us, and it's just so cool to have people across the ocean talking about a show that we all love.
What do you think the Icelandic talk sounds like?
You know, the only way to find out is to get one of our new friends to call in or to record a feedback on our website, which is survivortalkwithdnd.com. And that link on the right that pops up whenever your mouse gets anywhere near it, a microphone pops up and says, please record. I would love to hear accent from Iceland.
I would too. Iceland?
So cool.
I'm from Iceland. No, I guess that would be.
It's not a fast accent. It's just a different accent.
I'm from Iceland. I will take over your wars and your boats and fly over the sea and take over all the other worlds.
It's like How to Train Your Dragon. David says, what are they speaking? They're speaking Viking. I don't know. That's what they talk.
Bring me your wives so I can plunder them.
All right. That little link that you just shared may not be there very much longer because no one's using it, and it costs $12 a month, and I'm not going to waste money on that.
Okay.
So, but we'll give it a little bit more time. People start using it, then we'll keep it. Hit the website for blogs. Katya's is up, and Shayna's is up. And, of course, there's links to other blogs there. Also, a link to the buff place where you can buy buffs. All kinds of good stuff on the website. And while you're there, please click Amazon to do your Amazon shopping. Any final words, David?
Great feedback episode.
I agree.
Which followed a decent episode with a predictable ending, but the feedback just made it that much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, good intel.
Yep. So, David, which parody would you like us to end the show with? We have Get Lucky.
You have to do Chaos Gas.
Or Spy Shack. Or I'd Love to Take You Down, which sounds really awesome. Or Chaos Cast. Chaos Cast? You want Chaos Cast?
After this feedback, yes, I think we should give Chaos Cast.
All right, everybody. Music for tonight's show. At the beginning was Spy Shack, a little bit of Spy Shack. At the end was Chaos Cast. Thanks again for listening, everybody. Going to iTunes, leaving us a review. Awesome. That's all I've got. How about you, Dave?
I'm good.
All right. See you, everybody.
See ya.
We We talked our strategies in vain. Though Trish, a simple plan I tried. We talked some more, my trust you tore. A queen, you would not be denied. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I tried talking to you. We tried to explain all was just in vain. Maybe it's your tattoo. You came in like a wrecking ball. You almost made our kingdom fall. You must think that you're the queen of all your bossy plans, they annoy me. Yeah, you annoy me. I tried to talk beside the fire, but you were never gonna turn. Trish sat and heard our every word, and she quickly did discern that I might hear her say, won't you come our way? Our group really wants you. And I might just agree, you aren't good for me. Chaos just might ensue. I might come in like a wrecking ball. Time to make your shaky kingdom fall. Since you think that you're the queen and all, with all your bossy plans, you annoy me. So I might come in like a wrecking ball. Don't you mess with me, you crazy cop. All I wanted was some compromise. All you ever did was annoy me. Yeah, you annoy me. I never meant to start a war. I just wanted you to compromise. Maybe even shut your mouth before I must apologize. I never meant to start a war. I just wanted you to compromise. Now I have to improvise. You don't see my plan or my sleight of hand. It's time to blindside you. It's time to bring out chaos past. Just shake things up and show my sass. No one knows how dangerous I am, but tonight they all will. They all will see. This time I brought out chaos past. Made you look like you were middle class. As your torch was snuffed, you couldn't grasp how I took your crown and